Shalom, giving all praise to Yahweh Shema Shai Bashim Kakwadash. And I'm going to entitle this video Septimius Severus was not the first Israelite emperor of Rome. Septimius Severus was not the first Israelite emperor of Rome. So you guys out there that are teaching it, stop it, okay? You got that from the One West, mainly from Yeshaya, High Priest Yeshaya. It was himself, and Gazak, High Priest Gazak, that delved into the, Constantine, the grade and the line of the Constantines, that they were actually Jake, because for years we thought they were Edomites. And history, presents them as being, white people. But the Constantine the First in that line, the kings that sat after him, starting from 325 AD, that was the beginning of the 1,000 years of us. Well, we reigned because this man was he was bound up in that spiritual chain, pursuant to Revelation chapter 20 for 1,000 years. And I was talking about the dragon, the beast, whatever you want to call it. In Revelation 20, he was bound 1,000, start from the first verse. He was bound for 1,000 years. So if he was bound, somebody had to be in power. So who was in power? Jake was in power. That's why you had all these different icons of so-called black people all up in Europe. Mainly they focus on Spain. Now the rebirth of the beast came about in Spain, with during the time of Christopher Columbus, Queen King Ferdinand, Queen Isabella, Torquemada, which Torquemada, if you know about him, he was pretty much the head guy of what was called the Spanish Inquisition. The Spanish Inquisition, in a nutshell, was about everybody had to be a Christian. When I say Christian, I'm talking about a Catholic, which is the mother of all Christianity. You couldn't practice so-called Judaism, couldn't call yourself a Jew. You couldn't practice Islam. This is why they came against the Moors. You had to believe, they forced you to believe in the Roman Catholic God or the Catholic God, Christian God, which is a white man, Jesus, all that crap. Which when they came over here, when Columbus and Esau came over here to the Americas, what did they do? If the indigenous people did not accept their God and become Christians or Catholics, when you go into the history, I said right today, going to any Latin American country, and the official religion, I don't got to search, look it out, look it up. The official religion of every Latin American, Central America, Mexico, south of Mexico, Puerto Rico, Cuba, what's that island? What's the damn island? I can't think of the name of the island with the Dominicans and the Haitians. I can't even think of the damn island. It's right on the tip of my tongue, but it'll come back to me. I think it's Española. Española is the name of the island, and it's split there. On one side you have the Haitians, and on the other side you have the so-called Dominicans, which a lot of those Dominicans are a mixture of Judah, Benjamin, Levi, and some of the northern kingdom. That's why you run into one Dominican, they might look like an Edomite. run into another Dominican. The same goes with Puerto Ricans, Ephraim. Um, you might run into another so-called Dominican. He looks more, has like an Indian look to him, Puerto Rican look to him. Then you got black that look just like Negroes, with the froze and everything. And those most likely go back to, or most definitely go back to Judah, Benjamin, Levi. When you go into the history, the slave from West Africa, the western coast of Africa, were being brought over here in ships in Santo Domingo or the island of Hispaniola. That was back in the early 1500s, because that's when the slave trade began. When they began to bring slaves from so-called Africa, mainly West Africa, that was a little after, during the time of Christopher Columbus, during when he was up in Asia, when he died. He died in, I believe it was 1505, 1506. And there's records where they say all the first African slaves was brought over here. He might say 1520. It was earlier than that. It was like 1510, 1506. Because they were bringing them back and forth. They were bringing some of the slaves from the Americas to Spain. And a lot of the Spaniards are Israelites through the Moors and through the indigenous people of the Americas, which are the tribe, the Northern Kingdom. So chances are you run into somebody from Spain, he may very well be an Israelite. The sands of the sea, the stars of the heaven that cannot be measured or numbered. So, we were going to be scattered, right? There's many scriptures on being scattered. I may even go into some. And we were scattered. Everywhere you went, where you had people, where the white man came, when the white man came to the Americas, the people that he encountered were Israelites. And they even said it. The religious leaders, the scholars from Europe, they said, these are the Israelites. They also said, oh, these are the Northern Kingdom. So anyway, it says here, right? Roman emperor, the 5 good emperors. These were all Jakes. Nerva, he came after Domitian, which is the younger brother of Titus. I went through this before. And the younger son of Vespasian. So Nerva came in 96 AD, and he ruled until 98. Then you had Trajan, which he's also a Jake. So it tells you what they did, what made them good. It said Nerva used the adoptive system. Trajan brought Mesopotamia north of Danube, hope I said that right, read that right, and east of Black Sea under Rome. So he widened the empire. Aid for poor. He helped poor people. That's why he was one of the good emperors. He gave aid to poor people, which we have today as a welfare system, Section 8, food stamps, Medicaid, Medicare, and tax reforms. Hadrian built the Hadrian Wall. So that's considered a great public work. Antonius Pius, skilled administrator and builder. Marcus Aurelius, which he's an individual in the movie Gladiator. Now, in the movie, they didn't show you that he was a co-regent. There was another guy his name was Commodus, but he changed his name. But his son was, he had a son named Commodus, but the man that ruled with him, that was a co-regent to him, was also named Commodus. Matter of fact, I'll go into it. But what does it say? Philosopher king. What he was a Stoic. A Stoic is different from or opposite from a Epicurean. A Stoic is a disciplinarian, like myself. I can say that I'm a Stoic. I can say that Apostle Gabar is a Stoic. He did 35 miles bike riding. That's something that a Stoic would do. That's about two hours of riding. And Apostle Ron Blob is a Stoic. I wish I can say that for Apostle Sakaran. I wish I can say it, but I can't. No, he's getting up there. We've been rubbing off on him. You know, we get on, we tease him, and we tease him a lot because we got in one spot. You know, he got this. We all got the flat stomachs now. Our stomach is getting flatter and flatter. His stomach is still out there. So we get on him, but he's getting into it now. He works out with his son. He spars and all that. You know, like he asked me, you know, and we were watching the fight. Matter of fact, shalom to the bishops, and most of the bishops came out, and and we were watching the fight, and we were just bugging. It was like them brothers been coming to the house every week. That's what we used to do when we was younger. We used to always get together, eat and talk shit. Sometimes do classes, you know. So they came out, and you know, we was eating, talking shit, watching the fight, and we were just bugging, you know, just bugging out, you know, laughing, joking, you know, downtime, man. And so Bishop Sakaran looked at me and he said, "Yeah, I get tired real quick when I'm sparring my son." So immediately I said, "Yeah, you got to build up your cardio. Cardio is Latin, you know, for, you know, corazon. Cardio means heart. You got to build up your heart." I said, "You got to run, brother." I said, "You run." I didn't tell him how long to run, but if you're gonna get out there and walking is great. Matter of fact, I mean, I said I was a disciplinarian, right? I said I was a Stoic, like Marcus Aurelius. All the power that he had, he wasn't into. Trust me, that dude. He was an emperor of Rome, so he would be considered the richest man in Rome, right? He wasn't into material things. He was into things that Stoics do. You know, that disciplinarians do. His son was an Epicurean. He wanted to pop a lot of different girls, you know, women. He wanted to chill out. And he wasn't like his father, man. He wasn't like his father. And they show you a little bit of that in the movie. How Marcus Aurelius was out sitting in the coach while they were fighting the war, and then they came back and reported them. So he was out there in the field with them. You see? So, you know, it's good to go into this history. See, if you go into the history, Roman history is good because guess what? Roman history is all mentioned throughout the scriptures, man. In order for you to know them prophecies in the New Testament, understanding the New Testament, you got to understand that was under Roman rule. So sometimes you got to go into the history. And see, if you went into that history of the Roman Empire and the Caesars and so forth and how they related to the Israelites, you would know that the first Israelite to rule, to sit on the throne as an emperor of Rome was Nerva in 96 AD. Marcus ruled, I believe it was the co-regent, I can look him up, I forget his name, but he ruled and he died. I think he died early. I think he died in I think it was 169. I forget when they started ruling, but Marcus Aurelius ruled up until 180, 181. Then his son came in and he was like sole emperor which was Commodus. And he didn't kill his father. He did not. They put that shit in the movie. He didn't kill his father. All right. And that was so you go from 181 to Commodus, and then you go down how many years? We're talking 12 years, 13 years. That's when um, Septimius Severus came in. And then you had Pessinus Niger. So what it meant by Marcus Aurelius, philosopher king, he was a Stoic. He was a disciplinarian. He wasn't all into material things. And if you notice, okay, this is supposed to be Nerva, and this is Marcus Aurelius. This would have to be Antonius Pius. If you notice, they're bearded, right? They're bearded. All those Edomite rulers, they didn't have no beards on their faces. Now they showing you that he had no beard. It's possible. So stop teaching that, you know, learn how to stop stop regurgitating stuff. Do the research, man. You wouldn't be first Israelite king was Septimius Severus in 193 AD. Oh, that's deep. No, you regurgitated you regurgitated that shit that you got from Yeshaya, because Yeshaya didn't know. There you go, Septimius Severus, the African emperor. Well, guess right, but they were Israelites. They came out of Africa. We were ruling Africa. Hannibal Barca was an Israelite. The city of Carthage, which is Hebrew for new city. This is the Tetrarchs statue. The four Tetrarchs. So they were co-regents. They were four ruling as one, and they were brothers. They were not physical, actual brothers. But if you notice, there's a famous picture of famous. This is still standing today. If you notice, their noses are. You can see they have the Negroid face. You see the beard. You see the nose chopped off. Nose chopped off. Let me get a better picture. Let me get a better picture. You can clearly see that the nose is chopped off. But you can look at the face. This brother right here looks like Ash from the HODC. You can see the beard. Get a better picture. And back then, they hugged and they kissed. The scriptures speak about this. Men used to kiss each other on the side of the cheek. See how they hugging? They were brotherhoods. They were in harmony. And one of them is named Constantius, which was the father of Constantine the Great, or Constantine the First. You see, they got the swords, they got the robes on, they got the capes, the mantles. See, this is something that Esau doesn't want you to know about. You can see, it doesn't tell you who that is, who the bust is. This he has to be Nero. Let's see if I'm correct. Uh, okay, to understand Trump, we should look to the tyrants of ancient Rome. So does this look like Trump? It looks just like Trump. This is Nero. That's Nero right there. So Nero was a tyrant. Look at this. Hadrian, he was a Jake, but they made him look Edomized. Now look at this, man. Donald Trump, America, a Roman, whatever. Let me do this. A Roman reversal. See, they're saying that if they, what these Edomites do, these people behind the scene, when they compare Trump to Nero. But you know why? Because that's Nero. That's Nero. Look at him. Only difference is Nero had a chin beard, a beard that was up under the chin. That's Septimius Severus. You can clearly see. Well, that's IUIC. There's a bus. You got an emperor called Caracalla. I believe, okay, Caracalla. See what I put in Black Emperors of Rome. Look at that, showing you. Let me click on this. Caracalla. Okay, this is Publius Septimius Gator. And you can clearly see that he's a Jake. And this, see, Esau is in fear of a black planet because they got the history. They know that we took over the Roman Empire. We pushed them out of their seats. We were all up in the Senate. We didn't took over the whole Roman Empire, man, step by step, and we're taking over again. Okay, the African Roman Emperor. There's a BBC Africa. Let me click on that. It says Emperor Lucius Septimius Severus was the first Roman Empire to have been born in Africa. Yeah, because of, so he was born in Africa, but he was an Israelite. He ruled over the Roman Empire from AD 193, which also included parts of North Africa. Remember, Carthage, we ruled Carthage. But he wasn't the first. Right here, it says, this is a book, How to Think Like a Roman Emperor, the Stoic Philosophy of Marcus Aurelius. So he was a disciplinarian. Disciplinarians lead a solitary life. They hang out with people, but they're at their best when they're alone. They got it. They could think freely. Another image. He looked like everybody's uncle at the cookout. Was Septimius Severus a black Roman Empire? Yes, he was. Not only him, but many others. Okay, this right here is definitely, they don't tell you who he is, but this is Commodus, the son of Marcus Aurelius. And there's a famous bust. You can see that he's Jake. He actually had a cut a lion's head on, dug it out, and made like a hoodie out of it. He's not telling you who it is, but I know that this is Commodus. The Etruscan blacks. Now you got a people from the South Pacific, the Islanders, that are called Minoans. Do you know Manoah is a Hebrew word? Manawach, Manoah. He was the father of Samson. His name was Manoah. So you got a group of people called the Minoans. So you got Israelites mingled among those South Pacificas. Black is back in fashion. Click on this one. Roman Africans. These were Jakes. Look at that, the fro. Look at their facial features. Cut the guy's nose off. And you got Jakes that got like the wavy hair. Anyway, oh, look at this. Look at that. You can tell that that's a Jake because they clearly chopped the nose off, chiseled the nose off. Hadrian, you can see that they chiseled the nose off. Devils are hiding the truth. Look at that. Look at that. The beard, you can see they chopped the nose off. Why did they do that? Because he had a negroid nose, as they would say. So you had emperors way before Septimius Severus. The first Israelite to rule Rome, to sit up on the throne as an emperor, was a man by the name of Nerva, 96 AD. Lucius Verus. Let me do something. Let's see what comes up. All right, Lucius Verus. I believe that this is the co-region. Lucius Verus Lucius Aurelius Varius was was Roman emperor from 161 AD until his death in 169. And uh, Marcus Aurelius ruled for another, what is it, 12 years. So this guy died while he was sitting as co-regent with Marcus Aurelius, alongside his adoptive brother Marcus, which is Marcus Aurelius. So they were part of the family. Was Lucius Varius related to Marcus Aurelius? Definition: Lucius Aurelius Verus was Roman emperor from 161 until his death, alongside his adoptive brother Marcus Aurelius. He was a member of the Nerva Antonian dynasty, because they had dynasties. Like you had the Flavian dynasty consisted of Vespasian, Titus, and Domitian. And then when Nerva came on the scene, that was the beginning of a different dynasty. So these were family members that ruled. Dynasty means powerful family. It says his adopted brother, Marcus Aurelius, he was a member of the Nerva Antonian dynasty. So that right there further proves that Nerva was a Jake, because they came out of the family of Nerva. They come out of that dynasty. Look up the word dynasty. It means powerful family. They had a TV show called Dynasty because it was a powerful, loosely translated, it means a powerful the Rothschilds are considered a dynasty. The Rockefellers are considered a dynasty. The Oppenheimers are considered a dynasty. The royal family out of England, so-called royal, they're considered a dynasty. Anyway, with that, I'm going to say shalom.